For his family, a father reveals sturdy Gertie and how big the world is. In this tranquil tableau that his wife captured with a camera, a father and the couple's daughters gaze upon the newly completed Tacoma Narrows Bridge in 1951. For the girls, it was a surprise visit. Like others their dad initiated on Sundays. However, little could they comprehend the notorious catastrophe that had unfolded there before any of them was born. Relative newcomers accustomed to today's pair of Narrows bridges may be forgiven for not knowing the riveting context of the solitary span that opened there on October 14, 1950. It replaced a narrower Narrows Bridge that had opened on July 1, 1940, but had met a calamitous fate. After 4 months and 265,000 car crossings, the earlier bridge twisted for 2 hours, like a ribbon, corkscrew, or hammock, onlookers said, in 42-mile-per-hour winds, broke apart and plunged 190 feet into Puget Sound just before noon on November 7, 1940. The only lost life was that of a dog mistakenly abandoned in a sedan mid-span. The bridge's failure pulled out the rhetorical stops. A reporter later termed it the Pearl Harbor of American civil engineering, but its enduring and endearing epithet was Galloping Gertie. Newspapers accordingly termed the stronger, wider Narrows Bridge Sturdy Gertie, and it has stood for 72-plus years. To accommodate more traffic, a fraternal twin to the south opened July 15, 2007. Eye-popping film of Gertie's 1940 undulation and collapse became familiar to those in the 1950s who watched its repeated airings on the weekly ABC TV series You Asked For It. The electrifying footage also figured in an episode of the movie serial Atom Man vs. Superman, in which evil Lex Luthor destroys the bridge as a warning signal to Metropolis, but not before the Man of Steel briefly grasps and stabilizes the span so that a woman on it can be rescued. In 1951, the real-life girls in our then photo possessed their own Sunday drive context, imparted by their dad, railroad dispatcher William Fogelstead of Burien. He would choose places that we had never seen before, says daughter Helen Hackett of Bothell, who has no memory of the Narrows trip beyond its photos. He would keep it a secret until we got there. It was always a build-up. Now, just a few more miles down the road and we'll be there. He would show us all the wonders of the world here in Washington. It was always followed up by an ice cream cone on the way back home. It was his way of expressing life and how big the world is. A simple snapshot, a lesson for a lifetime. In our first then photo, observing the recently rebuilt Tacoma Narrows Bridge in 1951, are Burien's William Fogelstead and his 3 daughters from left, Julia, Helen, and Gail. Correspondingly, today, with its fraternal twin span opened in 2007 to the south, or left, family members match the 1951 Narrows Bridge pose from State Department of Transportation property. From right, Gail Fogelstead Kozlowski and husband Mark Kozlowski of Spokane, Helen Fogelstead Hackett of Bothell, and Lauren Kozlowski Bakken of Shoreline, daughter of Gail and Mark. In our second then photo, the Fogelstead daughters turn and face the camera. They are, from left, Helen, Julia, and Gail. Correspondingly, today, facing the camera are Fogelstead daughters Helen Hackett, left, and Gail Kozlowski, who hold a framed photo of their late sister, Julia Hick.